So, Mr. Ford, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
What is it like to bring a movie like this to a festival like Cannes? One screening only, half the people that wanted to get in could not, and so this creates this insane hysteria to add on to the hysteria that you have with this film.
It's great to be here. Cannes is a celebration of film, all kinds of film, and we got a very warm reception for a kind of film that's not always celebrated at Cannes. But you know, I've always said these movies are more about the joy of movies. You know, they're more about movies than they are about anything else. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to bring this kind of a movie experience to an audience.
It must be interesting also because for so many people, this is part of their kind of movie experience. Like I grew up watching all your films, and so to kind of go back into the indie thing, what was costume fitting like for you? Was it weird to kind of...
No, it wasn't weird at all. It just felt really familiar. It was like, you know, the character is so unique, and he is so much described by the costume that he wears. It's such a key element that, you know, when you put it on, you say, oh, I remember this guy. He feels familiar.
What was it about this story this time around that wanted you to come back after maybe a semi-retirement?
Well, you know, we'd been talking about it for, you know, maybe 15 years. It's been 19 years since the last one, and we've been discussing it and then trying to find the right story and the right way to do it again for a long time. And it felt really good when we settled on something, and it got all, you know, nips and tucks, and the whole thing got adjusted to taste, and we were all three ready to go. Felt great.
One of the biggest joys is actually watching Karen Allen on screen again, and what was it like to kind of bring her back into the fold and working with her on you know, in a lot of scenes and things?
Well, Karen playing Marion Ravenwood is one of the key descriptors of the character of Indiana Jones. That relationship is one of the key relationships which reveals the nature and the character of Indiana Jones to the audience. And so having Karen back again to tell a new part of the story was, I think, a brilliant option, and has enormous effect on the emotional fabric of the film.
One of the other fun things to watch is, you know, you've got this very great cast of players, and then Shia comes in, and was there at any point, did you feel paternal towards him at all, or do you feel like this kid can totally like hold his own against?
Well, they're both. You know, I felt very paternal because I have a son of exactly Shia's age, 21, and but Shia has been a professional actor for some period of time. I didn't feel protective towards him because he didn't need any protection. The man takes care of himself, and he's wonderful in the movie. I was delighted to have the opportunity to work with him. It was a real treat.
To go into a film like this, did you have to prepare a lot physically? And I mean, there's a lot of stunts that...
Well, there's a lot of physical stuff in it, and I did get hurt on 2 out of the last 3, and so I wanted to be as fit as I could to protect against injury. That's the main reason.
Any sequence in particular that kind of was the most daunting to kind of overcome, or was it just a relatively smooth shoot?
No, it really was a pretty smooth shoot. I mean, the fist fights with Igor, the big Russian villain, were in a bit of a test of endurance. For both of us, he and I, but you know, there was nothing that wasn't both fun to do and doable.
Last question. Cate Blanchett is so much fun in this film. What's it like working with her?
Absolute pleasure. The vividness of her portrayal is remarkable. She, you know, Indiana Jones is measured by the quality of the contest that he has with the villains, and she's a brilliant choice, I think, for Irina Spalko. She created a character that's vivid and really interesting from the very first second she steps on the screen. And I think she's a brilliant actress. It's a pleasure to watch her work.
Definitely fun to watch both of you on screen. Thank you very much.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking to you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Sure.